we're going to do, we're going to create from simple drawing to create a little robotic character using very simple basic shapes and a little bit of editing. For the ones who know my YouTube channel, all my videos are focused on my students and my lessons, and this is for beginner level. How to put some shapes together, edit some shapes, and create a little character. I mean, it's not the most beautiful one, but the whole point here is to learn a few basic techniques. Okay, let's get started. A little drawing I exported as a JPEG, took a picture, save as a JPEG, and bring it to Blender. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete that cube, and I go to my orthographic view, press 1. If not, you can use here. Okay, so that's my front view. I'm going to go to add image, image, reference image, and then find your robot drawing, JPEG, and that's my robot there. I'm going to use this robot just as a reference for scaling, for proportions and things like that. And I'm just going to put it here, just put the robot on the ground, and I'm ready to start. So the other thing I'm going to do as well is we're going to move back, because this is my front view and that's my perspective. I just move back of the way in the y-axis, and I'll kind of come here to the image, and I'm going to bring the opacity down as well. So if you press 1 here, bring the opacity down so it's out of the way, really. Okay, so we're going to start, I'm going to build them all different objects. So we're going to start with the cube and bring it here, start with the body and scale down. I'm using the lazy viewport add-on so I can see the axis, but you can use the keyboard if you like. So yeah, you can press scale and then Z in this case. So just have a look. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Now the next thing I'm going to do, go into edit mode, and I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm going to come loop cut in half here, and go to my face selection, press my X-ray, and I'm going to delete half of it, delete faces. Okay, so that's quite important, because then we can focus on one side and the other side will be mirrored. And for that, we're going to go back to Edit Object mode, I'll press the Tab key, and go to add a modifier, and you add a mirror modifier. There you go. Okay. So, we start with this body. Now I'm going to my edit mode. Oh, the other thing you need to be aware is that when you do the mirror modifier, use the clipping if you are in the middle, so the vertices will join in the middle, so it avoids overlapping. Okay, so the next modifier I'm going to add this now is the subdivision surface. This is a way of non-destructive modeling. So I'm going to put level viewport 2, so to give more resolution. Of course, that is not the shape I want, but this is how we're going to start. And we are also going to, with the right mouse button, shade smooth. Also, you need to select it, shade smooth. Okay. Right. Okay, so now let's start to build the shape in edit mode. So you go to edit mode. Now you can see how the subdivision surface modifier works. We're still going to work from a cube shape, and then we're going to start adding detail. So if you add a loop cut here, you see, you start adding more geometry. So I'm going to put one on the top, one at the bottom here, so it's kind of more square. Okay, so that's the kind of shape I'm looking for on the side as well. think I'm going to put a 1 here. You can also decide when minus 0.7. So you can do the same for the other side, and you put 0.7. Okay. Yeah. So that's my first step. I also would like to add, so in my drawing I have something here, so I'm going to add some more detail here. I'm going to add a loop cut here. And maybe another one. Okay, I'm going to come closer. I'm going to select, Alt select the edges, Alt select, so you select the entire loop of edges. So this one, and then I'm going to scale down. So to add little indentation there. Okay, right. Okay. Now, what a good thing that a tool to use is Alt and select that loop cut, Shift Alt, select the other loop cut, and I'm going to come here in the mean crease, and I'm going to put that to 1. So it's going to make the edges harder. Yeah, more hard edges here. So if I put 0, it's quite soft. And then if I want more, make harder edges, you can use that. So, okay, that's the kind of shape I'm looking for. I'm going to go back to my object mode. I'm going to scale a little bit more, and I'll bring it down a little bit. Okay. That's okay what I need for now. So we have the body. I'm going to call this body. And then I can always add more details later. I just want to get the entire blocking shapes. I'm just blocking out the shapes for the character. So in object mode now, not in edit mode, object mode, we're going to create this part here. Create another cube. And bring it up here, scale. I'm going to scale this way, scale that way, bring it down, and it's the same process here. So it's exactly the same as you did in the other one, so I'm just accelerating this process now, and I'll be back in a minute. So in this one here, I'm going to come back here before I start adding more details. I'm just going to select this vertex. I'm just going to bring it up to here. And then I'm going to loop cut here. And again, bring it down here. Okay, I'm not following exactly there because there's a space here, but I'm just putting together, just joining the two. Okay, so now I need to add detail on the side. Let's just keep as the other one, 0.7. 0.7. One was minus 0.7, this is 0.7. I might scale this at some point in Y, but not at the moment. I'm just going to keep it like that. So the other thing is go back to object mode and turn off this shade smooth. Okay, still quite soft. I want this geometry to be a lot sharper. So let's see what we can do. So maybe I can add another loop cut here, minus 0.2. Oops. 0.2. Yeah, that is better. And I want to add, make it this top bit a little bit more square. Yeah, I think that is okay. Let's go for the head now. We're going to start from a cube and bring it up again. Scale. The head, I'm going to scale entirely first, and then I'm going to scale in Z, G to move, and just scale a little bit more. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, I want the head to be quite much smaller here. And in fact, actually gonna scale this one as well on Y, just like this. Yeah, that is better. Right, the head, the same process again. Let's do it again. Edit mode, loop cut. You know how to do this now. So X-ray. I'm using the menus here because you know, but you feel free to use your shortcuts. Okay. So in edit mode now, I'm just going to select this. And I'm just going to move for now. Move. Yeah. Right. Okay, so let's apply modifier. Mirror modifier. Don't forget to turn on clipping. And then add subdivision surface. Levels viewport 2. Renders viewport 2 is how much you see when you render. So okay, so that is done. And edit mode, and then we start shaping. Okay. I'm gonna add. So here we want this bit to come up here. So let's see. We're gonna go for adding a loop cut here, and this one at the top here. So, oops, this one. Just gonna turn off X-ray now, and going to want and extrude. Probably move a little bit this way. No, actually gonna leave it like that. Yeah. Let's go back to object mode and shade smooth. Edit mode again. I'm gonna make the head, add a loop cut here, right, come down, right to the bottom here. Again, and this time I don't want to make it too square here, so I'm just gonna maybe minus 0.5, and I want a little bit rounder, so 0.5. Yeah, I think this is it. And the other thing I would like to do, you can do the way you like, the way you think it's better, but I'm going to shift select those, and I'm going to scale in Y. Yeah, I think that's it. That's what I want to do for the head. Now, for the eye, let's have a look. If I click here, so for the eye, I'm going to add a loop cut here, and a loop cut there. Loop cut here. Okay, and I'll probably move this one's there a little bit, this one there, and this one here. Okay, it's approximate. Let's have a look. Yeah, I select the back ones, but the back ones doesn't matter really. So I'm going to select this one to the front. Let me just gonna look. Yeah, I'm going to extrude. In fact, before I extrude, I'm going to inset a little bit. Just give it an inset, which is I as well, or we can use, oh sorry, that's the wrong one, inset tool. A tiny bit here. As you can see, I like to give that little edge and then extrude backwards there. Okay. Okay, now I want to add a little bit more detail with the loop cut. I'm going to add loop cut here. And another one there. Okay. I think now I need to add, I'm going to add just a little bit, another loop cut here and another one there, so to have more definition on his eyes. Yeah, that's the kind of shape I'm looking for. So object mode, and here we go. We've got the eyes. Here at the top on his top bit of, I would say, his ears, I want to change a little bit, so I'm going to go there with the X vertices. Connect. Make sure you are an X-ray, otherwise you're not selecting the ones at the back. So and you can shape the way you kind of follow a little bit more the image. Turn off X-ray. Yeah, that is good. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Right, so the head is done. Let's go for the shoulders. Shoulders very easy. I'm just going to accelerate. It's just going to make a cube, but I'm just going to, there's something important here that you need to be aware of. So let's go, I'm in object mode. Let's add now. Before we do that, just make sure we are naming things. Good practice, head. And I'm going to call this hips. Now I'm going to add another cube. Just scale down a little bit. Just bring it up in Z only. Keep it in the middle, right? As an object. Scale a little bit more. Now, I don't want, because I want to use the mirror modifier, I want to keep my origin of my object in the middle. Okay, so when it mirrors according to this, the origin of the object. So I'm going to keep the origin here, and the way I do this, if I move there, the origin moves with it. And then when I mirror, it's not going to end up in the other place, on the other side. So what I do, I go to edit mode now, select all, and I move this here, put it wherever you want to do, here. And now the origin of my object, if I go back to object mode, if I select this object, the origin is in the middle. So that's very important. So I moved, when I translate here from to this side, I did it in edit mode, so the origin stays there. Okay. So now I can actually add the mirror modifier. It will be exactly on the other side. And also, let's add the subdivision surface, the same story again. And make sure your shade smooth. And now you can go to edit mode and the same thing again. On the arm and legs with little pieces. So I'm going to add, first I'm just going to add a circle, and it's down here, and I'm going to scale that circle. Okay, and just bring it up. I think I'm going to scale more. Okay. Bring it up here. And now you go to edit mode and then move to the right. So it's here. As you can see, it's too big. I'm going to scale again. So just get closer. So now I don't have any 3D objects, I just have a circle. Okay, let's just keep it like this. There. Right, so I'm going to extrude and then Y, sorry, Z. This is kind of slide, and I'm going to add a loop cut here. And I'm going to scale that loop cut to create that shape. Okay, now edit mode, shade smooth, and that's the shape. I don't think I'm adding any loop. Let's get Bezier curves. You see in Blender, let me just go back here. I'm going to put my 3D cursor to origin. Okay, so add a curve, Bezier curve. So Blender always adds, this is Blender's Bezier curve. If you go to edit mode, and that's the curve. Yeah, so the curve has the points. Yes, if I go to the top view, press 7 for the top view, or you press here. You have, when you select the points, yeah, and you have the handles as well. So you can select the handles. Just do it like this, yeah. So in that way, you press G the same way you can control your curves, the same on this side. Got the handles here. What I want to do with this curve, I want to make the arm, create a curve so the for the arm and the legs. So I have my curve, object mode, come back here, and I'm going to rotate 90 degrees. And I want my pivot point to be at the top here. So I go to edit mode, and I want my pivot point. So I go to Control S, cursor to selected, and then back to object mode, object, set origin to 3D cursor, and it's now over there, right? Okay, so go to number 1, front view. Now, I'm gonna get my curve and bring it up to here. There. And I want to shape this curve. So I think if I rotate in Z, yeah, minus 90, I have already edit mode, so I can just move this up a little bit. Just want to give, I don't want to straight as it here, I just want to open up the arms a little bit. Okay, so let's try to do this. How does that work? Object mode. So I'm going to take my object and I'm going to, let me just delete here. Excuse me. So I add an array. First of all, I'm going to add an array, and I don't want an array in Z, in X, I want in Z minus 1. So it goes down. So if I add here, it goes straight. If I was doing my arm straight like that, that would be enough, but I don't want that. So what I want is to add a fit curve. I want to fit the curve. Which curve? This one, right? So what it did here, still straight, because is just adjust to the length of the curve. We create in copies of the object according to the length of the curve. So now I wanted to make it follow the curve, so I need to add another modifier, which is the curve modifier. And curve modifier again, I'll just put it here, Bezier curve. You see now it's following the curve, right? So yeah, so that's how it works. Okay, and now when you next, I mean, you can try different things, and you see here's different, but ours is working okay. So I'll select the curve. Just move a little bit. See, you can move the entire thing. Oops. I think I'm going to leave it like that. Just edit mode. Oh, I don't want edit mode. I want to select the curve. Let me just hide this circle for a moment. Select this, edit mode. Get the circle again. Select all, and I just bring it up a little bit. Yes. Okay, and I'm gonna add to the end here. So now I can go to object mode and add the mirror modifier, Z. Oh, now the Y is not working because now this curve, the origin point is not in the middle. That's why it's creating that. So I don't want that. And in fact, I want to create this guy here, which is in the front, in the middle. So I can then apply a mirror modifier, and it's already there. So I don't need to worry about the curve now because I'm just a copy on the other side. So let's just do the leg now, the same thing. So for the leg, I'm going to move the shoulders. I'm going to get the same object here, and I'm going to duplicate, Shift D. Yeah, so that's the new object. Shift D, escape, and I'm going to delete all this array and the curve for now. Yeah. So that is our new object, which I'm going to rotate, edit mode, select all, rotate 90 degrees. And I'm going to move, I'm still in edit mode, I'm going to move it here. And from here, I'm going to do the same as I did before. I'm going to create a curve, a Bezier curve, and do exactly the same process as I did with the other. So I'm going to go down here, going to Object, Add Curve, Bezier curve. Okay, I did that here because my 3D cursor was here. I'm just going to put it there and edit mode. Mind you, I am in the front view. Just going to use the cursors. Yeah, watch out for this because you really want, if you can go to number 3, which is your side view, make sure it's straight. So that should be about right. Okay, so now this is called, this curve is called Bezier curve 1. And again, I'm going to edit mode, and I'm going to Shift S cursor to selected, and then object mode, set origin to 3D cursor. So my origin is over there, beginning of the curve. And let's try. Select this object, apply, just remove the mirror now for now. Apply an array, and we don't want fixed count, we want fit curve, we want this curve. Fit curve, this curve. Okay, so now we have the length, and then we need to add a curve modifier, and then we have to say which curve it is, which is this one. There you go, we have it. So now I can choose the object and apply a mirror modifier. And we have both sides now. So I'm going to bring everything back. And this is what we have. This is his leg. And add again a cube. Same story. Control Z, bring the your 3D cursor to the middle, to the center. So 3D cursor to world origin. Add cube. Move up. Oops. And I'm going to edit mode and bring them. Make sure that I have here 16 or not that many vertices you want on your cylinder, and I'm going to rotate here next, rotate 90 degrees, and I'm going to scale down and also scale in Y. And here what we have is in the cylinder we have what we call the n-gon. This face here is a face that's more, it's got more than 4 vertices. Yeah, and this is no good in any game engine. We want to avoid any n-gon. So what we're going to do here is create, first of all, we're going to inset I, or you can use the inset here. And just bring it down like that. And delete the middle. And we're also going to delete, we only want delete some of the faces here. Come here, just press the, maybe these ones. Delete faces. Okay, so now we're going to close those gaps there. Select edges and Alt select the first edge. Shift Alt select the other ones at the back. And then come here, edge, bridge edge loops. You close that. And here you can also Alt select, Shift Alt select, and F to fill. Okay. Right, so now we're going to select all, edit mode, then G, bring it up here. It's huge, it's a bit too big, so I'm going to scale down a little bit. And I'm going to rotate. Still too big. Just have a look at the number 3 as well, if it's fitting there. Yeah, okay. So now I can apply the, go back to edit mode, apply the mirror modifier, and also the subdivision surface to shade smooth. And now I can shape a little bit, make it less organic. Edit mode, gonna add here minus 0.6 and 0.6. Yeah, okay, I think this is good. You can add more here if you want. Yeah, okay. So, hands done. And the last thing to do is to add some eyes, which I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use a cylinder, rotate 90 degrees, scale, okay, and again we're going to do the same thing. We don't really want the back because we won't need it, so you don't need the back face. Delete face. Okay, so we have the front one, and I'm going to insert again. I don't know what is this other one here. I think I accidentally created a loop cut here, so let me just delete this loop cut. Dissolve now. I can't delete, so dissolve. Here you go. So I have this. Actually, I'm gonna scale a little bit. Yeah, that. And I'm gonna delete that because I don't want an end gone. Delete faces. So what I can do here, I'm going to select all this, the edge loop, and I'm going to fill, grid fill. Yeah, so when you use the grid fill, you can choose here span. I'm just going to leave it 4, and then it creates mesh all in quads for you. Okay. So this is going to be the eye and the iris. So let's go here. I'm in edit mode now. Instead, actually, I'm going to bring object mode, and I'm going to bring all the way up in object mode, so the origin is right there. Okay. And right here. Okay, so now edit mode and G. Now my origin is there, so I'm just going to bring it down here. Okay, and down there. Okay, edit object mode. Add my mirror. Add my subdivision surface 2 and shade smooth. Edit mode. And let's add some detail to this eye. So I'm going to select the middle faces. So what you can do, you can select 4 and then Control plus, select that. And then I'm going to inset this a little bit and then extrude back. And then I'm going to insert again. And I'm going to use the proportional editing. And I'm going to extrude forward. Oops. Okay. Oh. Extrude. Right. Okay. Got it. Now. I'm happy with that. I think that's okay. So there we have it. We have our model. You can always add some more details. Like I think edit mode. So let's just create. Yeah. Two loop cuts here. And inset. And extrude in. I will sort this out in the middle in a minute. Okay, I've got this. So what I have here, I don't want those faces there. So I'm going to select this and delete the face. So I created a little hole. And now if I select those 2 points here, because I have clipping on, I'm just moving to the side and then they will snap together. So I have a mouth here, even though we need some more geometry here to give more definition. First of all, I'm going to create more of a loop cut in here. It seems I still have some other, let's have a look. Oh yeah, I've got the back ones there as well. So these ones, they should clip as well. You see now what we have here, we have a face that shouldn't be there. So we're going to select the face and delete faces and delete that face as well. That solved the problem. And now let's add loop cut here. Maybe there in the middle. And I want to add maybe here to give a little bit more of a round edge here on his mouth. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Let's have a look. Add some textures. the character and prepare a render scene. So we don't need the reference image anymore. I'm just going to turn off. And now I'm going to split my screen here. I mean, I could come to shading mode as well. Actually, I'm going to work from a layout mode, and I'm going to go to my corner here until you see this, the plus sign, and then when you do that, you can bring it here and split the screen. And this one, I'm going to place my the shade editor, and this one, I'm going to press 0 here, and I'm going to decide this is my camera. This 0 is my camera view. So if you come here into view and you press camera view, now you can set up your camera view. But before, I want to do decide the size of my frame. So 1900. Yeah, okay. So that's going to be my camera. So I can click off now and press N to remove to close that window. And now if I go around, I'm still back to perspective, but if I press 0, that's my camera. And if you want to change again, come here and then adjust the camera. So, okay, right. Now I'm going to add an environmental texture to a world. So I'm going to come here to my color, and I have environmental texture. I downloaded from Polyhaven. You can go and download yours. So mine is it's called Photo Studio 1, open image. Okay, I'm gonna come to my viewport shading, and maybe it's a bit too bright. The other thing I'm going to do, let's add a plane. So add a plane, and then scale. Right. And we go and now render engine cycles. Okay. And I'm going to move my plane, just scale a little bit more. I'm going to rotate. Yeah. Okay. So I'm rendering cycles, and I've got my plane. Let's just have a look. My plane was not on the ground, so I'm just going to bring it down to the ground here. The speed of the rendering is going to depend on your graphics card, and I'm using an older iMac here, so it takes a while. If you have a PC, you can put GPU compute as well. Right, okay, so that's the starting point. I have my environmental texture there. If I come here to my world and yeah, okay. Now let's start texturing this guy. I have downloaded a couple of textures already from free PBR. They are PBR textures, which stands for physically based rendering textures. And this lesson is not going to be about textures, and I'm going to have that in a different lesson, but let's just apply, let's just use what we have to add to our character. So I'm going to go to my head here, and the first thing I'm going to do is create a new texture, new, call it plastic. I'm going to apply some plastic to his head and body, and then rubber here on the arms, and maybe some metal on his hands. Let's see. So I created a principal BSDF texture, and here the surface is where, you know, this is our outcome of our texture apply. So here in this texture, if I change the color, as you know, it will change color, and I can apply specular roughness, colors and stuff, but I'm going to apply as texture, which I have downloaded already. So let's just do that. The first thing, I'm going to add an image texture to the texture I'm going to use is going to be color, roughness, alpha. Let's see what we have. So if I add image texture, so I go search image texture, and there you go. I added here. So now I need to go and find my image texture. So I download one from free PBR, and I call it plastic. And here the albedo, when it's alb is albedo, is the color texture. I don't know what the number 5 is. Let's just bring it in. What color? I don't know what color that is. So I'm gonna just connect the color to the base color. And let's just find another one. That's number 4. Oh yeah, the number 4 is red. I think that one was actually white. Let's see another color here. 6 is a yellow. I'm just looking what colors we have. I don't want that color there. Let's see, number 2, gray, 3, green. I'm gonna keep this color here, kind of orangey type of color. Okay, so this is the color texture. I'm actually gonna turn off the light. There's too much light in here, and I just realized I had another light turn on. Okay, we don't need that because now it's receiving the lighting from the environment. I'm gonna add plastic to the body as well. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate this, Shift D to duplicate, and now I'm gonna bring the, if you go here, let's see what we have. We have the roughness texture. Roughness textures is just a black and white texture, okay, showing which parts of the image are shiny and not shiny. So if I play with the roughness, if I decrease the roughness, it becomes a lot shinier. Yeah, if I increase the roughness, it's less shiny. But this one is a texture that controls that. So, and I want to make sure that this texture is a non-color texture because there's no color information here. So duplicate. Now I'm gonna bring metal texture. It's a metallic information, what parts of the object is metallic. Again, I wanted non-color and metallic. There you go. Just change it around, so tidy up a little bit. duplicate. The next one is going to be our normal texture. This is how the bumpiness of the object. So let's just go and get the normal. And for normal, we need a normal map. Yeah, so first of all, I don't want color, so I just say non-color. And I'm just going to stop here for a second. So it stops rendering. And I'm just going to add a normal map. You see, because this is a purple color, you cannot connect a color, which is yellow here, to the purple node. So it needs a purple. So this color goes to connect to the color here for a normal map, and a normal map you connect to your normal in your texture. So you can increase the strength, for example. Yeah, can't see very well, so let's just get an N. I'm just going to put the normal to 3. We shall see. I think the strength of my just bringing the strength down a little bit from my environmental texture. That is lighting the thing. I think I put 0.5 now, it's better. Okay, let's go back to our object here, our texture. And okay, and the other thing that I'm going to add here is what we call ambient occlusion. Ambient occlusion is the closed texture. So let's just do that. I'm going to add closed texture now, the closed shadow. So intensify the shadows from the nearby objects. Add ambient occlusion is the first one there. And there you go. For the ambient occlusion, we can use a ramp map. We do have an ambient occlusion for this texture, but we're going to create a different one here. We're just going to create using a ramp map. So I'm going to add here search, and I'm going to add a ramp map. Sorry, a color ramp. And then I connect ambient occlusion. Yeah. I have to add a mix RGB here, so I'm just going to deselect this. I'm just going to show you how that works. If you can see here now, I have my ramp map, my ambient occlusion. So if I put it to 0 to kind of almost white, as you can see, the amount of shadows, it creates the closed shadows. So if I intensify this, yeah, it's darker, intensifies the closed shadows. So we like that, we want that. Okay, so what we're gonna do, so we have to mix this with the color in order to just add on top of the color. So we need a mix, we have to mix. So go and search as a mix RGB. Yeah, so I'm gonna mix on RGB. So my ambient occlusion, I'm gonna put in a color 1, and my color node, my albedo node, I put in color 2. Okay, so I'm mixing them, and then here it says mix, and let me just put it there for now. So you can see now it's just mixing both in a way that the color is losing it. Yeah, so I don't want that. I just want to multiply the ambient occlusion. Yeah, and then I'm going to bring it, the FAC to 1. Okay, so you see how it's working, because if I intensify here the black, as you can see, yeah, so I can control here. It's a very good way to control. So it gives a lot more definition, and it's a lot more, realistic. Okay, so that is good. I'm happy with that. So here we have for now what we want to with our character for the head. So what I'm going to do for the head, the body, and all the parts are plastic. So I'm going to put all these other ones. So I want this part of the leg to use the same plastic. I want the shoulders. Yeah, okay. So that's it. I'm just going to save this version. Keep saving because at this time Blender might crash. Okay. Before we carry on, we're just going to go to our world texture here, and you can come up here and select your world texture, which is our environmental mapping, and I won't be able to rotate this texture in order to find the best lighting setup. So how can I rotate my texture? So you need to add a couple of things here. So you need to add a mapping texture, a mapping node, sorry, not texture, mapping node, and then texture coordinate. Texture coordinate. Yeah, texture coordinate. So what you want to do is to select the generator to the vector, and the vector to the vector of your texture. So now you can see location, rotation, and scale. We want to rotate in Z. So if you start rotating here, our environment is rotating, so we get a different lighting effect on the character. So we try to find the best setup. I want to get some highlights. Don't know. I'm just gonna test now. Okay, I'm getting some highlights here. I'm gonna leave it like 68.9. Yeah, get some highlights there. So I'm gonna leave it this setup here. Okay, going back to my object world. I click outside. I'm gonna create a new texture. I just create here at the top, new, and I'm gonna call it rubber. And again, I downloaded from free PBR. So let's just create image texture. The other thing I haven't done yet, which because we haven't done any UV mapping for this, so I'm just going to select the body, select the body, go to edit mode, and go to UV here, and add a cube projection. Select all, cube projection. Okay. It's just using projection in order to display the texture, so it doesn't really show any kind of distortion, even though this is just plastic. I don't think there would be any distortion, but sometimes you can see if you're using a different texture, you all distort. So let's for now use that. So let's do the same thing with the head. Select all, UV, cube projection. For this one, the same thing. I'm going to use a cube. Tab A, cube projection. And for the feet, not the feet, the ankle area, I'm going to use edit mode, select all, and I'm going to go for a cylinder projection because it's more cylindrical shape. There you go. Okay. So now, if we go back to our rubber, and I'm going to open textures, and I have black rubber here, so I'm gonna have the albedo color open, and again here I'm gonna use the same thing as the ambient occlusion. So let me just add an ambient occlusion. So I forgot to put here to increase. I was wondering why it was not coming up black, because I forgot to bring this up to 1. Okay, so maybe less than 1. Yeah. Okay. So now it's looking good. Maybe I'm going to my world and play a little bit more with lighting. Feel free to keep rotating your environment until you find the right lighting. Yeah, I'll leave mine here, 90. Anyway, so let's go back and now work on the hands first, and then we look at the eyes. I'm going to use the rubber as well for the eyes, but I'm going to use different textures in the eye. Let's just go and create a new texture called metal, and for that, metal, if you can't see it, press dot here on your keyboard, and then it comes back. Now for this, I also have a texture that downloaded, but you can create your own one. So let's go and search for image texture, and I'm not gonna, I think the color, I'm just gonna choose any color, but let's see what I have for the metal. I have here the color, which is, I think, is a gray only, the normal. Displacement, I'm going to use displacement now. I'm just going to use a normal map. Just get the normal map again with the normal node, normal map node. And there you go. Remember, non-color. Then I'm going to duplicate this. Metalness. And I'm going to click on metallic. I have a little roughness. Okay. My lighting is not helping a lot at the moment to show everything, but you can get some of the. Let's just see what color. I think the add search is just a grey color. We could just add grey here, but let's just duplicate this and add the color. I mean, if you, it's here, that's the color, and roughness. Metalness is just a white one, so that's full metallic, yeah. And there's a grey color there. Okay, so let's go back here, and we have metal. I would do again the ambient occlusion, the same process again. It's going to create a new material called outer eye. I'm just gonna create kind of a very dark color, quite rough, increase the roughness. And now I'm going to edit mode and select the internal part of the eye, Control plus, and I'm going to create a new material called inner eye, and the sign. And this, I don't want it white, I want it still black, but I want very shiny. So you can see the difference here, right? Maybe not so much specular, but very little roughness, and yeah, I think that's it. So I'm gonna go back to. So I've went on and changed a few things. I added a different color here on his eye sockets, and then I rendered one image. Very basic rendering. You know, it's just basically for the purpose of the exercise is how to create a robot with simple shapes and give a little bit of character. And I rendered another image. I changed a few points. I just adjusted a few vertices, opened his mouth, and just added a curve here. So to give a little bit more, you know, a little bit more personality to him. So that's his, he could be talking. And I just rendered these two images for you. So very simple, with very simple tools, you can create a character and give some personality. So yeah, take the time and add more things, add details. I can't wait to see what you do.